And welcome to the first round of the National Invitational Tournament here on the campus of Clemson University. A chilly day in the Deep South. Number 2 seed Clemson getting set to tangle with 7 seed Oakland, the regular season champions in the Horizon League. With Stephen Howard, Roy Philpott. Great to have you with us as always. And two teams clearly tonight with something to prove. When you talk about these two squads, an updated look at the bracket. The winner of this one will battle the winner of Alabama and Richmond. That game will tip later tonight, 9:15, over on ESPN. It has been Heartbreak Hotel for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies, an upset in the quarterfinals of their league tournament to number 9 seed Youngstown State, Stephen. And it's been devastating because they've lost in early fashion the last 2 years.
Yeah, Roy. To me, if you look at all the conference championships, this upset was the most shocking because Oakland absolutely owned the Horizon League. Look, this is a very good defensive smothering team that I wouldn't want as a first-round road opponent. They're fearless. They have multiple scoring options. As a road opponent, look, this is a very scary game for Clemson. They got to come out on their P's and Q's to come out with a victory.
Playing at home, double-digit favorites Chate and Brock to get things underway. And the opening tip controlled by the Tigers. Underway Littlejohn Coliseum, newly rebuilt arena. And let's see which program wants it more. If you're going to make a run to Madison Square Garden in this tournament,
Work out!
how quickly can you get out of the gate? Here's Deron Blossom game in the paint and the jump hook.
And Roy, that's who you're going to have to start with and end with is Blossom game. He's their leader. He has to get multiple touches throughout this game, but he's going to have to be a definitive force to get a victory against a very good defensive Oakland team.
Golden Grizzlies dressed in black here on the road, inside the sweet dish, and the late rejection by number 5. It was Blossom game again, so on both ends of the court.
Yeah, and he leads this team in blocks with his 28th, and yeah, he's got to be a rim protector for Clemson in the paint.
Mitchell off the mark, the board controlled by Jalen Hayes, who both coaching staffs told us earlier today that number 4 in black, Hayes, reminds them of Blossom game. Similar players.
They do have similar games, operate in the painted area very effectively.
Dorsey Walker the miss, and the rebound by Blossom game.
You know, Blossom game seems very intent early on in this game. Good sign for the Tigers.
Chate inside, 4-0 Clemson. Oakland averaging more than 87 points per game. The last 3.5 weeks of the season, this team can get up and down the court. Horizon League champs won 24 games this year before that upset against Youngstown State, and another turnover.
And taking a look at that last possession, and you're going to see Blossom game really just time it, go it up, and just pin it on that backboard. And that's the type of defensive intensity you want to see from your leader. And you're going to see a trickle-down effect with the Tigers when you have your star stud guy protecting the rim like that.
Clemson back to work. Tigers 17-15 this season, 6-12 in the ACC, and struggling with a multitude of close setbacks. We'll chronicle those in just a couple of minutes. Blossom game down low and off the glass.
You know, Roy, it's interesting. They have the smaller Dorsey Walker guarding Blossom game, and I think they're trying to affect him much like Virginia Tech did last year when they used a smaller lineup to try to kind of affect him in that painted area, but I see no ill effects early on. Blossom game really taking advantage.
First look for Jalen Hayes with a bounce. Oakland on the board, 6-2.
Both of those guys can face up. They can take it down the block, shoot the 3. Very effective in isolation and in the paint.
This bracket, all a part of the Iowa bracket. The number 1 seed Hawkeyes would host throughout if they win. Mitchell attacking with the flush. Sheldon Mitchell.
You know, I'm seeing a little bit of a loss hangover with Oakland early on in this game because this is a very good defensive team, and right now you just saw a defensive lapse allowing Mitchell to get that easy dunk, and on the road you can't have those miscues, particularly early in a game.
Brother, can I get a SportsCenter top 10 with that last play?
Oh, that's definitely a hashtag SportsCenter top 10 play.
Deep 3, Neely, count it, and a big response by the Golden Grizzlies. Sheldon Mitchell played that card a couple of times in Greensboro, make that in Brooklyn, the ACC tournament last week. Suffered early season knee injury, kept him out after transferring in from Vanderbilt, but appears to be gaining health and strength, especially with the ups. Mitchell again, yes.
And what you're seeing, Roy, is that early dunk by Mitchell gave him that confidence, and now he's letting it fly from distance.
Attacking on the other end is Dorsey Walker. Back and forth we go. Both of these teams pretty good offensive teams.
Yeah, good offensive team. Kind of a different Clemson team where normally they used to like to walk the ball up. This year playing with a little bit more pace and speed.
Oakland trails by 4. Just underway at Littlejohn Coliseum. First round of the NIT. Walker straight away the leading scorer off.
And see, that's what you're going to see from Oakland. They're a team that is not shy at all offensively. You see them, they will take a shot if they feel open. They want to push the space and dictate the tempo in this game. That's the way I think they feel like they can win on the road.
Well, you think about the Horizon League, a league that's full of teams with a lot of shooters. They love to shoot the 3. They're effective to that regard. Off the high ball screen, Mitchell. And controlled by Walker.
Mitchell is using his height advantage on that pick and roll. Feels like he can shoot over the defense. That's a pairing to keep an eye on.
In traffic, a strong finish by Dorsey Walker. NIT will use experimental rules. We'll tell you about that as we go through as well. Essentially, they're going to try out what appears to be a quarter-like system without using quarters. Fouls will reset after 10 minutes. You're in the bonus with the 5th team foul.
It's kind of like when you acquiesce to losing an argument, but you don't want to say you lost it, and you just kind of change it a little bit. I see your point, but
this is what everybody wants. We'll
right.
do it to a certain extent.
Yeah, but
we just won't call it what you want.
Exactly.
Now, the women's side went to the 4-quarter system several years ago, and it's worked out really nicely. And tossed out of bounds. Back to Clemson. Well, an entertaining start at Littlejohn Coliseum. Shelton Mitchell, an early start for the Vanderbilt transfer. And old number 4 getting after it with a SportsCenter top 10 play potentially.
Yeah, Mitchell starting the dunk party, and then Oakland sealing it up.
The presentation of the NIT is brought to you by Samuel Adams, Pursue Better, and the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulia. Some cars take your breath away, only one gives it back.
Back here inside of Littlejohn Coliseum, first round of the NIT, and a fast start for both Clemson and Oakland. A one-possession affair with former NBAer and collegiate standout at DePaul, Stephen Howard, Roy Philpott courtside. For Clemson to survive and advance in this tournament, it comes down to Teron Blossom game.
Yeah, and you know, this is just the way they want him to start this game. He's got 2 buckets, a block, but he's done it on the inside and outside, really showing his variety as an offensive player. But the way that he has really been the determining factor defensively and offensively early on, great sign for Clemson.
Elected to return to school for his final campaign. Gabe DeVoe off the bench, the quick trigger and off the mark. Was 3rd-team All-ACC this year, was Blossom game. More than 17 points per contest coming into tonight.
You know, Roy, you have to be really wary, though, about this Oakland basketball team. They can score it in bunches, and they can smother you defensively. They're not a team that you want to flirt around with and let them get some confidence in a game.
Martez Walker, leading scorer. Oakland now 5 of 9 from the floor. Blossom game. Wide right. Tied at 11. Oakland in search of its first lead. And this is what makes this team so dangerous. They're also still very young as well. Just one senior on this roster. Everybody returns next season. Oakland, no doubt, will be the prohibitive favorite in the Horizon League. 8 to shoot. And the Golden Grizzlies, in the midst of a 6-0 run, maintain possession. Well, there's Blossom Game's numbers. What impresses you there? 9th in the conference in scoring. Not too shabby.
Yeah, some nice participation badges he gets for being one of the better players in the ACC. And, yeah, finalist, Julius Erving Award, and well-deserved nice all-ACC recognition. And this is a guy that really has done it for a couple years for Clemson. Very good player, and it's good to see him getting some recognition.
Deep 3, Nick Daniels, first off the bench and off the back iron.
And that's very important for the Tigers to make sure you get that defensive rebound, because they do shoot a lot of threes. Going to be a lot of long rebounds.
Marquise Reed just checked in, missed the layup. And a reminder, our next NBA Wednesday doubleheader starts in San Antonio as Kawhi and the Spurs host the Blazers, 8 Eastern. Then it's the Bucks as they battle CP3. That's Chris Paul and the Clippers at Staples Center. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown charged by Mountain Dew at 7. Also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Greek Freak. Love it.
Foul win against Elijah Thomas. That's his first. In a tie ball game, 7.5 minutes in, an offensive foul. Daniels picks up his first. There's a look at Greg Campy in his 33rd season.
Wow.
With the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. That's hard to believe, the third longest tenured coach in one school in D1.
I don't even have friends that I've known for 33 years. Or probably I've known, but we're still not friends.
Well, they don't claim you.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's an astounding and amazing stat. And I like when we were talking about it this morning and you asked him how he was able to do that, and he said, well, nobody else wants him. That's really not the fact, but he's just done such an exceptional job with Oakland.
After the basket by Reed, the foul against Oakland. There's Brad Brownell, year number 7. A lot of expectations this year in Tiger Town. A lot of hopes of making the big dance. It did not happen. All the close setbacks. Think about this for a second, Stephen. Clemson lost 9 games to NCAA tournament teams by 6 points or less this year alone. I mean, that's backbreaking.
I've never seen anything like that, Roy. And it showed that they were right there, but really one of those wins could have put them in the tournament, and you get 3 of those wins, and you're looking at a 6-7 seed in the tournament. So very capable team. We've got 2 teams here really that could and should have been in the NCAA tournament if things went a little differently.
Second turnover for the Tigers in a tie ball game, 8 minutes in.
And that's one thing that Clemson does not do a lot of, and that's turn the ball over. They average a little under 11 turnovers per game.
Hill Mays down low, and Oakland grabs its first lead.
And that's what I talked about earlier, Roy. You don't want to give these guys some confidence. Look, they basically own the Horizon League, a very confident bunch, and you let them get some early leads. They're the type of team that offensively can get some space.
After the miss by Ty Hudson, who's getting some rare playing time, Oakland turns it over again. Their 4th miscue here in our first half. Now the Golden Grizzlies on the road, a 2-point advantage in the heart of ACC country as the first round continues. Break hotel this season for the ACC Tigers, a handful of close setbacks going all the way back to non-conference play in November. And then when ACC play arrived, Avery Holmes missed a free throw against North Carolina, probably would have won the game. More close losses. Virginia Tech, Syracuse at the buzzer, Stephen. A 2-point loss at Duke where they had a chance to tie it late. It did not happen. And you can just pick your poison with all of these losses that just stockpiled as we went through the year.
Roy, you look at any team or any player that's been successful, if they're honest, they will tell you there's a lot of luck involved. A bounce here, a bounce there, and I think you see that with this Clemson basketball team. A very good team, but a little bit of a win going one way, and their whole season is going a totally different direction. Just like if you're driving a certain way and you hit some traffic, and you do that 10 other times and it doesn't happen. And so I think Coach Brad has done a great job of keeping this team up high when they've had some devastated losses.
Blossom game rejected. Outstanding
Nice
defense by Jalen Hayes. Clemson gets it back. And Mitchell, the feed, and a sweet dish to Blossom game. He's got 6.
You know, Roy, Clemson is getting all those 50-50 balls. I see a lot more aggressive, faster to those balls, and that's something that for them to be successful, they're going to need to continue doing.
Inside Hayes, contested layups off the mark. That was Thomas that bothered that attempt. And Mitchell now in attack mode again.
Nice
will
pass.
feed Thomas the easy dunk. Transfer from Texas A&M, that's Elijah Thomas.
And having Elijah Thomas playing well, another big for Clemson that could do some work in the painted area, really give them some versatility throughout the stretch in this game.
Tapped away by Thomas. It'll stay with Oakland, 14 to shoot. Remember, the team fouls will reset after the first 10 minutes of both halves as Thomas delivers the goods. Well, Stephen, he's got a nice back-to-the-basket game, and with his size, he was an ESPN 100 player, one of the top recruits in the country.
Yeah,
went to Texas A&M, didn't feel comfortable, and then came here. Walker back iron, Reed the rebound. 17-15 game. Reed his second missed layup. Thomas on the offensive glass, and back to Oakland.
And I think that's one of the differences of this Clemson basketball team. When you get Reed, nice change of pace guard, get it, always has his head up, but he pushes that pace and really pushes the envelope, and you have to pay attention or he will take it coast to coast. So I like that pressure that they put on the defense offensively.
So halfway through the first, team fouls will reset when the clock strikes 9:59. Not a factor here as you see the experimental changes to the rules as Thomas comes up with another block.
Great job by Thomas protecting the rim. You can see him utilize that length on that possession.
And the response by Brock, swatting away Mitchell. And back and forth we go, an easy 2 points for the Vanderbilt transfer. A 4-point advantage for the Tigers. Mitchell wincing a little bit after that layup, but appears to be okay.
All players are okay, Roy, once they touch the basketball offensively.
It's amazing how that works.
It is. It's just a cure-all.
Clark for three. Hayes on the offensive glass. And a strong move in the paint, a late whistle as Thomas draws the foul. Here's a look at all the rule changes. We talked with both coaches, Greg Campy and Brad Bardell, about these today, and for the most part, they were in favor. What are some of your thoughts?
Well, I don't like getting rid of the one-on-one because for me, that's part of basketball. Can you shoot good free throws? Can you do it under pressure down the stretch? That gives the team the ability to come back in games, but also it gives you the opportunity to really dominate because if you have a great free throw shooting basketball team, particularly in conference play and in tournament play, those are those factors that a lot of times are determining factors, and you take that away, I don't know, it's like you're helping teams that don't have good free throw shooters.
That's certainly one way to look at it. You see the numbers on Hayes this year, third in the Horizon League in rebounding. 3 points, 4 boards already tonight. One possession game, more than halfway through the first half here at Littlejohn Coliseum.
I think Clemson has done a great job of really dictating the tempo and not letting Oakland make this more of a hairy first half.
Oh, the skip pass to Mitchell, a chance for 4. Sheldon Mitchell's been money so far tonight.
You know, Roy, you go back to that early dunk that he had that really gave him a lot of confidence. You're going to see great utilization of that pick and roll, brings the defense to him. You sag, don't sag off me, son, because Sheldon Mitchell is just playing with a lot of confidence, stepped into his jump shot, knocked it down, now for the 4-point opportunity.
Already in double figures, his 11th straight game hitting that mark. His last 13 games, you look at some of the metrics, 51% from the field, 53% from 3. He's been dialed in his first eligible season here in Clemson.
Well, he's had double figures in 10 consecutive games, 12 in the last 13. And that's what you want to have from your point guard because he is that first line of defense and the initiator of your offense.
Big three-pointer by Nick Daniels. That was Clemson's largest lead. It's now trimmed to 4.
You know, the one thing about Oakland that I don't think they're worried about is they can score and they can play defense. So they can come back in bunches. They got 3 guys that shoot close to 40% from the three-point line, so they can do some damage from distance.
Dante Grantham draws the front of the rim.
You know, and he's a guy that, talking to the coaches, has been a little bit of an enigma. Hasn't done what they feel that he could with his potential, struggling a little bit with some confidence.
Nearly a turnover, 8 on the shot clock. Walker launches and connects. Well, it was a 7-point lead 60 seconds ago. That margin's been trimmed to just 1.
Again, they get down, they can get back really quickly, shoot over 80% of their half-court possessions from the three-point line. That was number 1 in the Horizon League, so they will put it up from distance.
Fun game thus far. Mitchell has had the hot hand, not here. Chate battling, and that's what he's done best this season for Brad Brownell. Avery Holmes misses the three-pointer.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Chate doing a great job of being that motor guy for the Tigers early on in this game, getting those extra opportunities offensively.
Jerron Blossom game set to check back in, approaching 7 to play. A 1-point contest. Down low to Hayes. Great position, but he traveled. Was looking for the whistle, did not get it. And a timeout on the floor. What a start for both of these sides. Sheldon Mitchell, the early dunk. The response by Dorsey Walker. Elijah Thomas joins the mix. 23-22 here in the first round of the NIT. Now, Brendan, thank you very much. Back here in Clemson, South Carolina, a vastly different story, a 1-point contest. Oakland won the regular season title in the Horizon League. The Tigers finished 12th in the Rough and Rugged Atlantic Coast Conference. Stephen Howard, Roy Philpott courtside. Entertaining affair thus far, back and forth.
Yeah, very good offensive basketball teams and an Oakland team that, if you talk to Coach Campy, his best defensive team that he's ever had, waiting for them to put those defensive claws into this game.
Blossom game with 8 points, 2 rebounds. For a player that many are speculating will have a chance to succeed at the next level. And back to a 3-point game.
I think they're allowing Blossom game to play with a little bit too much space. You're allowing him to feel himself offensively, and particularly when a player is at home, you need to take something away from him.
Off the bounce, 7 to shoot. They'll feed it down low. Side rim for Hill Mays.
And that was a good defensive possession by Clemson. Sag off Hill Mays, a guy that really didn't want to take that shot, force him into the shots that the Tigers wanted him to take.
Chate traveled, and Oakland gets it back in a 1-possession contest. How about this? Look at the metrics for the Golden Grizzlies. Actually, the most successful Division I program in the state of Michigan when it comes down to total wins since 2007. Now, it's a different slate, different conference, obviously, than Big Blue or Sparty, but nonetheless.
Coach is a who?
Easy now, easy. The spin, Hills Mays. And good defense by Chate.
Chate really has been the X factor for Clemson early in this game, defensively, protecting the rim, getting them extra offensive looks on the offensive side, being that motor guy. You got to have guys step up their games like that.
Chate, not really his spot, but he connects from 17. Hey, silky smooth for the big man.
Hey, he's listening. But yeah, he's playing with a high degree of confidence early in this game, and he's a guy that his offense really gets better the defense that he's playing, which he's doing a lot of that.
Walker, the leading scorer, has been held in check somewhat. Short on the layup. Grantham got there late but made a difference. And here's Blossom game attacking. Late whistle, free throws coming up. Now Jerron Blossom game, 8 points, 3 boards, 1 assist.
Looking at the last defensive possession, and great shot blockers leave the floor second. You see Jade do that, and then, look, you leave him open with that type of time. Jade can knock it down, do an exceptional job really on both ends of the court.
He's a glue guy. You know, I don't know that he's going to average 12 and 10 at any point, and he's a senior, obviously, so that hasn't happened, but he's Mr. Hustle, Mr. Energy. He's improved his skill set working under assistant coach Mike Wienecki in his Clemson career, operating with the Tiger big men.
And he stays in his lane. He really doesn't try to do things that is not in his arsenal. While he might not take a lot of jumpers, he can knock it down very smooth and efficient on that offensive jumper. When a player stays in his lane and excels at it, that's when you get exceptional teams.
6-0 run by Oakland, answered with a 6-0 run by Clemson. Hayes in the paint operating, can't connect. And it'll bounce out to Gabe DeVoe.
And that's the shot that they want for Hayes. Down on the block. He's got Blossom game on his back. He's just got to knock that down.
And a nice dish from DeVoe. Boy, he had to skip past to Mitchell for the 4-point play earlier. Spot Chate, who has 6 here. And Clemson suddenly in control. The 31-22 advantage. 4:37 remaining in our first half. Gabe DeVoe getting the job done off the bench. Make sure you catch every moment of the 2017 NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament on the ESPN family of networks. For more information, visit NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Very much looking forward to that. I'll be heading down to Texas tomorrow for the first 2 rounds. NC State and Auburn will be down there against the Longhorns inside, and Hayes, the jump hook, he's got 5.
That was great defense by Shade, but better offense by Hayes. He's a guy that has to be more offensively aggressive and get something going in that painted area so that distance attack from Oakland can get going as well.
DeVoe, the floater with the left hand, short. Dorsey Walker against Blossom game. Good job by JB not to foul on that defense.
Yeah, and that's part of Oakland's game that they have not been able to get going. Great job by Clemson with their defensive transition, not allowing them to get any easy looks.
Coaching 3.5 to play in a fast-moving first half. First round of the NIT. Winner will get the winner of Alabama-Richmond. 8 on the shot clock for Avery Holmes. Contested jumper is
nice.
Short.
There he is again.
He's a fun player to watch.
I mean, if you're giving an early MVP, he's a unanimous selection right now.
Stuff in the stat sheet, 6 points, 5 rebounds for City Jete. That's 50 in white. .13 on the shot clock, 3:06 remaining in our first half. And a timeout on the floor, a 7-point advantage for the 2 seed. Clemson here at home. Here in Clemson, South Carolina, all a part of the Iowa bracket. First round of the National Invitation Tournament. And out of the timeout, Clemson off the mark. Oakland back to work, trailing by 7. It's even an important 3 minutes coming up for the Horizon League regular season champs.
Yeah, Oakland needs to get some momentum going into halftime. And they're going to really, for me, have to do that on the defensive side of the court. The best defensive team in the Horizon League, they have not shown that thus far in this game.
Hayes hit the deck, is still down. The alley-oop to Blossom game. The second highlight reel dunk we've seen in these first 17-plus minutes. And on the finish, Chete hit the floor. Meanwhile, Hayes continues to be in pain. The elbow side of the other end of the floor.
Well, he lost the ball. It looked like it went off the back of his shin, and then a Clemson player rolled over his head. And then Blossom game.
You just need him right in the face.
Yeah, with the dunk and just wrong place, wrong time. But Hayes is still on the floor.
That was a rim rattler and appears to be bleeding from an area near his mouth. There is blood on the court, and now he'll be attended to a little bit more closely by the training staff. Well, Steve, that's a situation you never want to speculate, but that can be a dangerous deal. Anytime your head hits the court or it's the knee of another player.
Yeah, and you can.
Ouch.
And that's something that for Oakland is not beneficial as well, just because he's their main cog, and you lose him when you're trying to get some momentum going into halftime. Doesn't help. You see him diving for the ball, and that the posterior just kind of rolled him into the floor.
I think the floor caused that.
Yeah. Nothing malicious, just one of those basketball plays that happen.
Now, Gabe DeVoe, 6'4", 210 pounds. Riding on top of Jalen Hayes, the first team All-Horizon League performer this year. And if he misses any kind of significant action in this game, that's a massive loss for the Golden Grizzlies.
Yeah, because they play through Hayes much like Clemson plays through Blossom game. And without him, you don't have that interior score. They're already thin interior-wise, so you lose that main guy. You're looking at an all first-team Horizon League selection. Really hard to replace. Something that they're really going to struggle with.
While all that was going on, Blossom game on the other end with another rim rocker. He leads all scorers with 12 points. 5 of 8 from the field, and he's had his way against this Golden Grizzlies defense.
You know, Roy, I was talking to assistant coach Steve Smith before the game, and he was talking about how focused Blossom game is before and his kind of pregame ritual, and you saw that. Very intense. Comes out about 30 minutes before everyone else does, gets his shots up, and then he sits there and just kind of gets into his game. and waits till the team comes out. And you can see the translation of that in this game. Just very focused, a very good start for Clemson.
Tay just checked out. Legend Robertin just checked in for the first time. Brock gets it back and 2 point-blank misses, facing the largest deficit of the evening for Oakland.
And you're just seeing offensively, Oakland just not flowing. Can't seem to get anything going. This is an area where Clemson really can make some distance with Hayes in the locker room.
Reed is short, the transfer from Robert Morris. Under 2 to play in the first half. An important possession now for Oakland. And another turnover. Mitchell comes out of there with it.
Got numbers.
Directing traffic outside to Reed for 3.
And Roy, that's what Reed's here to do. He's here to put it up and shut him up. He's an offensive player. You just want to put him out in the court and just let him go. Just say, look, Marquise, you do you. And he's coming in doing that exceptionally in this first half. Daniels
will try to respond. He cannot. Largest lead of the game, call it 12. You think about Clemson next year with Reed and Mitchell returning in the backcourt. It's a nice nucleus in an ACC that's going to be, as tough as it's ever been. Tigers now in the midst of a 13-2 run. Blossom game for 3. Legend Robertin with the offensive rebound. Off the glass.
Roy, Clemson is doing a very nice job navigating the pick and roll. They're making nice selections. They're moving the basketball around. And when they do that, there's so much space that they're getting those second chance scoring opportunities, really taking advantage of the glass. Talking to Campy before the game, and he mentioned that controlling the rebound was going to be essential for this game.
Marquise Reed picks up the personal, his first. Reed on the other end for 3.
And just great job, again, finding your players in transition and then getting that second chance scoring opportunity. Great job by Robertin, just being available, getting the basketball, and knocking down that jump.
It's a native of London, England. Approaching 30 seconds to play here in the first half. Walker. Brock lost control, another turnover, and Clemson can play for the final shot.
Very active and engaged Tiger basketball team in this first half.
Tigers trying to close the first half strong. Oakland just 2 points in just about the last 7 minutes of game time. A little shake and bake Mitchell. Robertin with the finish. An emphatic slam to close down the first 20. And they're not done just yet. 0.7 seconds remain. Clemson will get one more shot at it.
And they might look at the clock to see if there's more time. But great job. Again, just a little shake and bake. Throws the basketball above the defense to Robertin with that 7-foot height. Able to go up, dunk it in.
Our veteran officiating crew led by Jamie Lucky. I would agree with you that there probably should be some more time put back on the clock. And I think they're going to take a look at it. You can do that, of course, with under 2 minutes remaining. And so far, we really haven't seen the experimental rules come into play. Haven't been a lot of fouls in this first half. Take one more look at that last travel. After the dunk, rather the third and fourth point scored by Robertin. Well, up and under by Daniels without bouncing the ball. Probably a second or so.
And it really just would depend on when the official blew the whistle.
And they're going to leave it there, 0.7, I believe.
That's enough time to catch and shoot. And if I'm Oakland, I'm switching everything on this possession.
So out of the timeout, DeVoe will get a crack at it.
No, you didn't. When it's going your way, it's going your way. Wow. As I said, enough time to catch and shoot. Gabe DeVoe just did that. Nice pass, better shot. Clemson rolling.
Oakland did not score in the final 4 minutes and 22 seconds. DeVoe, known as a shooter off the bench, a native of North Carolina. And that one was so pure the net barely moved. And the Tigers will close down the first half on a 20-2 run. to establish their largest lead at 19. Well, an entertaining first 20 minutes in the books. They're going to look at that last sequence one more time to make sure he got it off in time. You got to dot the I's and cross the T's. We'll take one more look at it ourselves to make sure ball's out of the hands. With .7, you got time to catch and release. It looks like a shot.
But really, I credit, though, Clemson on that execution on that last play. I mean, perfectly executed, really. Gets him coming off the screen, catching it, and release in traffic. Yeah, I think that's good.
That should count.
Yeah, they just counted it.
And Jamie Luckey confirms our expectations there. Well, a fun 20 minutes in the books. Duran Blossom game leads all scorers with 12 as we send you now to the studio. Brendan Fitzgerald, Dino Gaudio, guys, take it away. First round of the NIT continues back inside Littlejohn Coliseum. A 19-point advantage for number 2 seed Clemson as we kickstart our second half of coverage. Stephen Howard, Roy Philpott courtside. Entertaining first 20 minutes in the books. Tigers close on a 20-2 run to seize control. Sheldon Mitchell, 11 points. Duran Blossom game with 12.
Yeah, it was all Clemson. All Sheldon Mitchell early on. He started off with that nice dunk. I think that really initiated him, got him started, some confidence. Then he started to flow after that. And then JB got it going down in the block. And then nice little pull-up jump shot, not forcing anything, letting the game come to him. And then it was Shadday really doing a great job establishing that painted area as his own and then drifting a little bit out for that nice free throw line jumper. And then again, Blossom game protecting the rim and then doing damage down below. Great start in the first half from Clemson.
And the start of the second begins how the first ended. Another Oakland turnover. And lost in the shuffle, Stephen, the fact that Oakland shot just 34% in the first 20. Clemson defensively, you mentioned the bigs and Shadday in particular, had a major say in all of that going down. Tigers give it right back, and Oakland's got to start here hot now, given a second life.
They really do, and I think they need to try to speed the possessions up. You look at the way that Oakland plays, and they shoot the ball a little under 16 seconds for every possession, and that's top 40 in the country. They need to try to speed this up a little bit.
Hill Mays connects from 16, and a good start.
You know, you don't see Hayes out here, so you're wondering if he's getting some stitching done or what's going on with him. A very difficult prognosis if Oakland tries to win without their main guy on the court.
And Jalen Hayes, first-team All-Horizon League performer, is Grantham with the bounce. His first basket. Hayes hit the deck hard, was bleeding from the mouth.
You know, Roy, great balance from the Tigers. They're getting production from all areas. You're getting guys like Shadday doing well, blocking, scoring. Graham just knocked down a jump shot, so really difficult to defend when you're getting that type of production from everyone.
On the other end, the lone senior for the Golden Grizzlies, Sharon Dorsey Walker, started his first 2 seasons at Iowa State before transferring up the street. And the lead is 16. Winner of this one will get the winner of Alabama and Richmond. That game tips later tonight over on ESPN2 at 9:15 Eastern. And Mitchell appears to be in pain after hitting the floor.
The floor hasn't been kind to anyone today. Mitchell doing a good job, though. He turned the corner and saw a little opening. It looked like he twisted his ankle a little bit.
Mitchell missed the first part of the season, suffering a freak knee injury in practice. Sat out last season after transferring from Vanderbilt. Honestly, Steve, I'm not sure that he's been 100% all year. We've seen it in flashes.
Well, and that's something that's difficult when you're a player and you get injured early on in the season. You never really get 100% right just because of the wear and tear, particularly in a tough conference like the ACC.
Well, when it gets Neely his second. Blossom game off the mark. Shadday skies for the rebound. Triple team, the drop step. And a late whistle means free throws.
But looking at this last possession, look at the attention that Blossom Game gets on this shot, and that allows Chete really to go in there and get the basketball. He's garnering attention by 2 to 3 Oakland players. And Chete just doing a great job of just getting in space, finding that basketball. Great heady play by the big man for Clemson.
He's been fun to watch tonight. 7.7 boards for Sidi Chete, the senior from Senegal. 1 of 2 at the line. The lead is back to 17. Reminder, the NIT does have experimental rules this year, which include team fouls being reset halfway through both the first and second halves. Shot clock will only be moved back to 20 seconds. As Grantham connects from the corner. And the lead is 20, the largest lead of the night for the Tigers.
Grantham had 0 points last game, 19 minutes, so good to see him playing well. Good sign for Clemson.
Hill Mays off the glass, in and out. And Chete corrals it.
The Tigers doing an exceptional job, just one and done for Oakland. Just giving them one shot, and then going down and getting multiple shots on their offensive possessions as well.
Already a convincing win for Illinois in the books in the NIT. Oakland with just 29 points on the board. The rejection. Dante Grantham. And get it out of here.
You know what I like most about this possession? He just missed a jump shot. He didn't sulk. He got back on defense and swatted it away. Great rim protection by multiple players from the Tigers in this game. And that painted area is definitely purple.
Martez Walker, the bucket. He's got 7, the leading scorer for Oakland at over 17 per game.
And I thought Clemson did a great job of really keeping him under wraps in that first half. Martez Walker's a guy that needs to be aggressive and active to try to get Oakland back into this game.
Walker, the transfer from Texas, a left-hander, 1 of 3 on this Oakland roster.
Oh, wow. That did not
Chete gives it up.
That did not look fluid.
Brad Burnell, year number 7. Here in Clemson, 17 and 15 this campaign. Not what they expected, rather, at the start of the season. He's still very optimistic about the direction of this program.
Particularly with all the players they have coming back next year. They'll have a lot of minutes, continuity. Really play the way that Coach Bono wants to play.
Basket by Hill Mays. Skip pass to Avery Holmes. And the leading three-point shooter in ACC play connects once again.
You're right, he's been shooting the ball exceptionally well, particularly in ACC play at 53% from distance. And you saw that confidence in that last jumper. Great job finding him in rhythm and in space.
Holmes, a transfer from USF, that's the University of San Francisco. Dorsey Walker from bonus land, back iron. And tapped out. Timeout on the floor. We'll step aside as well. Clemson, the 2 seed, in control. 5 minutes into the second.
This presentation of the NIT is brought to you by the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulia. Some cars take your breath away, only one gives it back.
It's brought to you by the Principal Financial Group. 3 trips to Madison Square Garden. The first one coming in 1999, a loss to Cal. 2007, that's Sam Perry, Trevor Booker still playing in the NBA. Also another trip to the Big Apple. And then again in 2014 with KJ McDaniels, who now plays for the Brooklyn Nets.
The Tigers are the most experienced team here in the NIT.
16 trips overall.
That's a lot.
Clemson basketball history. Stephen Howard, Roy Philpott back inside Littlejohn Coliseum. The basket by Hill Mays.
Oh, pick your pocket, son.
And the steal by Neely. Oh, he can't connect. And it's been that kind of night for Oakland.
Great defensive play, but just finish it. But you're right, Roy. This has just been one of those days. A lot of missed bunnies. Nothing easier than that layup.
Walker up and under. The whistle means free throws. Elijah Thomas picks up the personal. Thomas, that's his third.
And look at that last possession.
If you're Neely, there's no excuse after missing that layup. It's going to kill your confidence.
It really is.
And Walker at the line comes up short. He's 84% from there this season. And Stephen, one of the things we wonder about, which team wanted it more out of the gate. Oakland battled, was able to hang tough early, but you wonder, upset number 9 seed Youngstown State, quarterfinals, conference tournament last week. It's been lingering around a little bit with this program since that setback, and perhaps it's rearing its ugly head here in the second half tonight.
I think you're absolutely right, because this was a team that was on a tear, won 9 of their last 10 games, and gets against Youngstown State and just losing the way they did, particularly on a defensive possession when you're the best defensive team in the Horizon League by far. They just don't seem to have gotten that confidence back, and that's something that you're going to have, particularly when you're going on the road in ACC country trying to get a win.
So Greg Campy there, 43 seasons with Oakland. First appearance in the NIT tonight. Upset in the conference tournament in the last 2 years. Dorsey Walker in and out.
They're getting the looks that they want, just can't make them come down.
And the foul inside will go against Brock. Isaiah Brock, decorated Army veteran, joined the military after high school, served overseas in Afghanistan and Kuwait. I'd like to have that last attempt back. No 1-and-1 with the experimental rules that we referenced back in our first half. And both teams in the bonus after the 15 foul, assuming it comes in the first 10 minutes or then the second, because once you get past 9:59, team fouls will reset. Experimental rules to see how the game will adjust. Dorsey Walker defended nicely again inside. And Martez Walker for 3, and now the lead dwindles to 13.
And again, that's the guy that's going to have to really being the mainstay offensively, Martez Walker. Without Hayes on the court, going to have to be the one that really pushes the needle and becomes very aggressive offensively.
Well, Brad Brownell has seen enough. He'll use a timeout. Tigers with 2 remaining. It was a 20-point lead moments ago. 13 right now. Says the Clemson fans in attendance. I don't know if they're in the right sport, but the winner of this one will grab the winner of Alabama and Richmond. The game that's currently airing to the 9:15 tip. Well, they're still talking a lot about football in this part of the country, Stephen, as you can imagine.
I mean, I think they have a right to. Right? I mean, I'd be pretty pumped, too, if I went to this very orange school right now.
Oakland chipping away at that 20-point deficit. The interesting thing, if the Golden Grizzlies can turn this into a closer contest, Clemson down the stretch has faded in a couple of games. You wonder if the pressure starts to mount. If that trend will continue, as Hill Mays will hit the deck and a quick whistle. Veteran officiating crew. As Brad Brechting picks up the personal, so he's in the game for the first time after missing the last 2 contests.
He's hampered a little bit with his ankle, so I would attack him to see how well he's able to move laterally.
I think Greg Campy wants to see some more size down low to try to protect the rim a little bit more effectively.
He absolutely does, because that's been a real sore spot throughout this game, both in the first and second half.
So the first time tonight we really see the new rules coming into play, as Clemson will get 2 free throws. Now with the 5th team foul committed by the Golden Grizzlies. So no 1-and-1, 2 automatic, and they'll be in this same mark for the next 3 minutes and 10 seconds, and the team fouls will reset.
And both of these teams really are good free throw shooting teams.
Blossom game, 2 in the stripe. He's got 14. The lead is back to 15.
Now, Roy, the defense for the Tigers, I think they should switch and not allow Oakland to get any 3-point shots, because there's no Hayes, nobody that's got a double-down team or that you're afraid of at all. There should be no reason for Oakland to get loose for any 3-point shots, and here they are with the 3-point shot.
Well, Neely missed the layup that was uncontested, then connects from the corner for the triple.
Well, you got to know, if you're the Tigers, how Oakland is trying to get back into this game, and it's from the 3-point line. So, look, you don't need everybody converging on the basketball. Play smart defense. Great heady play by Oakland on that last possession.
9-2 run for the Golden Grizzlies. Blossom game. Be fouled by Dorsey Walker. He'll pick up his first. That's 30 in black for the redshirt senior. Only senior on this roster. And important to note for Oakland fans next year, everybody's back, plus Kendrick Nunn, a former Big Ten player at Illinois, who can score the basketball. Next year, future very bright.
Yeah, looking at that last possession, just watch how Dorsey Walker attacks the lane. 3 white jerseys around him. You leave a three-point shooter open, and that's how Oakland's trying to get back into this basketball game. You got to be smart. You can't allow them to dictate the shots that they want to get, because there's no way that they can beat you on the interior.
Blossom game, 4 for 4 at the line in the last minute alone. 16 and 8 tonight for 5 and white.
And you know, you're talking about Kendrick Nunn, and I was talking to Stephen Bardo, flying the Illini, big Illinois grad, and he said that he felt like Nunn could do very well and almost lead the horizon in scoring next year.
And an offensive foul. Thomas had position outside the restricted arc area. The Tigers take over with a 14-point advantage.
A little bit of over-penetration by Neely. Great job by Thomas getting in that legal guarding position. And you say he tried to fake. Thomas had plenty of time to wait for Neely, set up and take the offensive charge. And those are those empty possessions that you can't have if you're Oakland trying to get back in this game.
Pencil in the Golden Grizzlies next year as one of those teams that could do a lot of damage if certain players stay healthy, if Nunn gets going, because I'm with you. I think he could be a guy that not only leads the Horizon League in scoring, but maybe even at the next level. With everybody else a part of this roster inside, and Dorsey Walker will shoot 2. Now the regular season champions in the Horizon League trying to hang tough here in Clemson, South Carolina. They trail it by 14, shooting free throws. NIT, a 14-point advantage for number 2 seed Clemson. Stephen Howard, Roy Philpott, a nice crowd on hand here to watch this first round matchup. And Brad Brownell's got to be pleased with his start, trying to make another deep run to Madison Square Garden. And for Oakland, well, Golden Grizzlies need some help. Trailed by as many as 20 points tonight, Stephen. It's now been whittled to 14 with 2 free throws for Dorsey Walker. Last foul went against Elijah Thomas, his 4th. He quickly checked out as Jete is back in.
The last couple of possessions for Clemson really hadn't been very smart. Taking a 3, Thomas, just not getting the type of production that they've been getting earlier in this game.
Lead is 12.
I would think you're going to get Blossom game on the block, let him get some touches, try to do some work down on the painted area.
Mitchell between the legs, behind the back. A little razzle-dazzle, but nothing doing.
His Blossom game has Dorsey Walker on him. That's a mismatch he should be able to take advantage of.
Holmes can't connect. Here comes Oakland. Dorsey Walker off the glass. 10-point game.
And that was a poor weak side recognition by Dante Grantham. Just on the weak side, did not even come over to challenge that shot. And Oakland's a team that's either going to take a 3 or take it to the rim, so you knew what they were going to do. You got to challenge them.
Crowd getting a little restless here in the newly rebuilt Littlejohn Coliseum. Blossom game gets the bounce. He's got 18.
And again, Roy, you got to see a steady diet of Blossom game. He's got Dorsey Walker on his hip, 6'4", 200 pounds. Blossom game should be able to take advantage of that every time down the court.
Well, he's done it a lot tonight. Here's Martez Walker. Will feed it down low. And a basket for Hill Mays. Well, he's in double figures now with 10 to go along with 4 boards. Stephen back to a 10-point game, and credit Oakland for hanging tough. Trailed by as many as 20 tonight. Grantham off the mark with the left hand.
And that's a poor shot. You're fading away in the paint, not going to the rim. Not a good look at all.
And the foul. And Hill Mays collects the rebound. Now with 10:03 remaining in the second half. Team fouls about ready to reset under these new experimental rules here in the NIT this year.
And Hill Mays doing a great job of filling in for Hayes for Oakland, giving them some nice energy off the bench.
When you think about the comeback, they're doing it without their first-team all-conference performer, Jalen Hayes, who left the game in the first half. And a three-pointer from the corner. A single-digit lead, call it 7.
And Dorsey Walker's a guy that 54% of his shots are threes, so you got to know from the scouting report he's trying to let it loose. Can't give him that kind of space.
Grantham with the answer.
I like the confidence. Last possession, horrible shot, comes back. Big three for the Tigers.
Crowd back in it. Another important possession for the Grizzlies. Walker fouled on the three-point attempt. And you just can't do that, and that's what you've seen from Grantham this year. One play has been exceptional, and then at times he disappears.
Well, he just did that. He had a bad possession, came back, knocked down a three, and then he comes down with that poor defensive play. And you look at Martez Walker, he plays a physical brand of shooting, kind of like a Reggie Miller. Every time he goes up, he's failing his arm, he's kicking his foot out. So he's trying to create contact wherever he is. I think he even did a free throw violation, crossed the line before the ball even hit the rim.
Martez Walker, redshirt junior from Detroit, started his career at Texas, approaching 1,000 career points now. Began the game with 984, has 12 tonight.
And Roy, I thought he did a really good job with the departure of Kay Felder, of filling that offensive void. He upped his shooting from 5 field goal attempts to over 12 to really be that mainstay offensively.
Walker with 13. You tell the story of Oakland this year. They're doing all of this, including 24 wins, the regular season championship in the Horizon League, without Kay Felder, who Greg Kampe was expecting back this year. NBA got in his ear. He was a scorer. And yet they continue this high level of success. Chate rejected by Brock. And here comes Oakland. Crossover. Inside to Brock, and the finish, 6-point game.
And that was a big 4-point swing for Oakland. Great job protecting the rim by Brock, and then nice patience on the other end to get the easy deuce in the lane.
Chate, a hard screen. Holmes misses the 3-ball. Here come the Golden Grizzlies.
And one thing about Oakland is they are fearless, and you're seeing this late in the second half. Not afraid of the Tigers at all.
Inside the finish and one. And how about this comeback for Greg Kampe's Oakland Golden Grizzlies out of the Horizon League?
Well, Martez Walker, he's come alive. Got a nice curl in the lane, playing through contact. Chade got him a little bit across the body. And that's your leading scorer there. Again, a guy that's filled the void. And he wants the basketball down the stretch. And he is making the Tigers pay.
Martez Walker, a chance for his 1,000th career point at the stripe. He gets it. More importantly, Oakland has scratched and clawed its way back to make this a one-possession game.
And again, you got to get the ball to your all-ACC selection Blossom game down in the paint. Every time he's gotten it, something positive has happened.
Who wants it more? Clemson playing at home, Oakland on the road. Reed off the mark. Brock controls the board.
See, that's a bad play. The ball did not get to anyone else's hands, did not touch Blossom game. Playing right into the defense of Oakland.
And it's good. Dorsey Walker, we're tied at 61. Stephen, last time it was this close, 7 minutes left in the first half.
And again, if the ball doesn't at least touch Blossom Game's hands, the Tigers are doing something wrong. He's got Dorsey Walker on his hip.
And an offensive foul by Chate. Oakland gets it back. Timeout on the floor. And a chance for the Golden Grizzlies to grab the lead. Dorsey Walker, 17 points. The comeback, not complete just yet. We got a ball game. Brendan, thank you very much. A 22-7 run here for Oakland. We're tied at 61. And Stephen, tell me what you like about the Golden Grizzlies.
Well, they got back really with the way they got them here. They're shooting it from outside. They're taking it to the rim, getting those 50-50 balls. They just wanted it more, and they're fighting for it. And right now you got the Tigers playing on their heels game, definitely, with Oakland.
Back to live action. Three-pointer miss by Dorsey Walker. Tigers trying to corral it. They cannot. Saved. And a brilliant recovery by Javen Cumberland, who just checked in. That's 21 in black.
And these are all 50-50 balls that the Tigers were getting in the first half. Now Oakland first to everything in the second half.
And you can feel the demeanor and the body language change for both sides.
Absolutely. You've seen that aggressive Oakland play that they're known for. That's a team that's fearless offensively and defensively.
Dorsey Walker off the glass, and the Grizzlies back in front.
I love the patience and the poise by Dorsey Walker on that last possession. Got to where he felt comfortable in the lane, and just using that height and long reach to shoot over the defense.
Well, you got to think they're trying to spot Blossom game here instead of turnover. Now back and forth, we have gone 4 ties, a couple of lead changes. Clemson closed the first half strong. Since then, you can almost say it's been all Oakland.
And you're doing it, Roy, without your all first Horizon League selection of Hayes, who left in the first half. But for Clemson, this game is simple. Get it to Blossom game. Let him use his height on the paint. They're not doing that.
Walker launches. In and out. Jete the board.
Let's see if they get it to Blossom game. Let him go to work.
Clemson had it on cruise control just about 6 minutes ago. Mitchell bothered on that shot. 19 to shoot, under 6 to play. It'll stay with the Tigers.
You're just not playing smart. That's the best shot blocker in the Horizon League. He averaged 2.2 blocks per game. Get it to your bread and butter. That's Blossom game. Let him at least touch the ball. It's been at least 4 possessions since he's even touched the ball down in the paint. They're just not playing smart basketball, but credit Oakland. They're doing what they want offensively and defensively.
Quick whistle in the paint. It'll go against the Golden Grizzlies. Bill Mays picks up the personal. First lead for Oakland since 11:56 was remaining in the first half at 15-13. This arena virtually silent after this last outburst by Oakland.
Someone that doesn't need to be silent as Blossom did. He needs to be definitive down on the block.
And there he goes. But that was a teardrop and went up so high.
Difficult shot, but that's the guy that has to get some multiple touches in this last 5.5 minutes of the game for Clemson if they want to come out on top.
Daniels. Brock on the offensive glass and a fresh 30.
Roy, who wants it more? And it's been Oakland for the majority of this second half.
Martez Walker, left-handed finish, nicely done.
So Oakland gets it to their scorer, Martez Walker.
Clemson will do the same thing. Blossom game fouled. The pressure of the moment, the close losses mounting up all season long. All 9 of those teams made the NCAA tournament. All 9 of those losses by 6 points or less. How will Clemson respond in survive and advance mode?
And I think they have to do it again. You got to go to your bread and butter. You got to dance with the person that got you there, and that's got to be Blossom game. And they're just playing not smart right here. Those are unforced errors on the part of the Tigers.
10 turnovers now for Clemson.
I mean, Oakland is not doing anything defensively that should surprise Clemson in this game. I mean, just lack of execution down the stretch, really.
Dorsey Walker against DeVoe, a bit of a mismatch. Looking for the foul, and he'll get it. And DeVoe can't believe it. That was pretty good defense.
Yeah, it really was. But one of the points of emphasis this year has been that offensive and defensive cylinder. And you're seeing Dorsey Walker doing a good job of just backing DeVoe in, using that height, and he's got that long reach, which makes him so effective in the paint.
Lone senior on the roster. Now the leading scorer with 20 points.
Dorsey Walker out of Pershing High School in Detroit. A lot of notable alumni. My guy, Spencer Haywood, just got in the Hall of Fame last year. Ralph Sampson, Steve Smith, Kevin Willis, and he's doing them justice today.
1 of 2 at the stripe. A 3-point game. Well, this one's had all the twists and turns that we were expecting coming into tonight. Skip pass, Grantham, an open look. And Oakland a chance to seize control here, under 4 to go.
Yeah, I'm not understanding how they're not trying to move Blossom game around to get him the basketball, but him just kind of putting his arm out a la Kevin Durant on the old Thunder is not going to cut it. You got to get some movement, get him the basketball in the painted area where he can use that height advantage.
Big possession here. Walker nearly lost it. 5 on the shot clock. Desperation heave.
Oh my
With
goodness.
the bounce. Back iron of the ball just died.
Martez Walker has kind of got that offensive game that's a little bit awkward. So he's going to take those shots that don't look comfortable to most, and they're comfortable for him.
An air ball by Reed and a timeout on the floor.
Martez Walker, look, this doesn't look like what I wanted to do, but this is exactly what he wanted. Martez Walker, the guy for Oakland, up 6.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NIT is brought to you by Samuel Adams, Pursue Better, and the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulia. Some cars take your breath away, only one gives it back.
Thank you very much. The plot thickens here in Clemson, South Carolina. If you tuned away when the Tigers built a 20-point lead, my oh my, how things have changed. Stephen Howard, Roy Philpott courtside in Oakland now with a 6-point advantage and possession of the basketball after that air ball by Marquise Reed moments ago.
Well, and Clemson right now has instituted a little bit of escort pressure, but the way Oakland got back into this game is the way that they played in the Horizon League. One of the better teams in the country defensively. Top 25 in effective field goal percentage defense, 3-point percentage defense.
Alley-oop and Brock the finish. 8-point advantage, largest of the night for Oakland.
And credit Coach Campy with the expertly designed timeout play. He just executed to a T.
These last 2 possessions totally out of sync, rushing shots when there's still plenty of time left.
Yeah, you're not going to get this back in bunches. A little under 3 minutes left to go into this basketball game, which is an eternity. Just take your time, play through Blossom game, play your game, and it'll come to you. But Oakland, they're dictating the pace, the tempo, and really getting the shots that they want.
Golden Grizzlies shooting 55% in the second half. And here's where it needs to go if you're a fan of the Tigers. Blossom game. Can't find the basket.
You know, I said this before the game. Oakland is a team that I would not want to play, particularly on the road. You look at what they did this year, 10-2 on road games. That's 7th best in the country.
No look alley-oop to Brock. Easily intercepted.
Yeah, got to know time, situation, and score, and wrong play for Dorsey Walker.
That's a big sequence. Lead us back to 6.
Clemson trying to extend their defense. Coach Campy not liking the way this play was progressing offensively.
And he just pointed to his temple. Greg Campy, head coach of the Grizzlies the last 33 years. Use your head on that last offensive call. No look alley-oop pass when you're leading by 8, really not what you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, a play that you would institute in the first half, you can't do that down the stretch, 2 minutes with the lead. Time, situation, and score, and you got to realize that in that situation, and that was a possession before, that was out of bounds, throwing it to your leaper. Isaiah Brock, perfectly executed. Right now, Coach Campion's getting his team settled and just telling them how they want to ride this last 2 minutes of this game out in order to get a huge win on the road. And that's got to be in the hands of Martez Walker offensively, and then funneling Clemson to Isaiah Brock defensively, averaging 2.2 blocks per game.
Martez Walker, 35 in black on your screen, 21 points tonight. Dorsey Walker joining him with 20.
Little 1-3-1 zone by the Tigers, trying to trap and just get Oakland out of that offensive flow they're in.
8 on the shot clock, open look, triple, well short, Reed the rebound.
Reed's a guy who can push the envelope offensively.
Outstanding defense, the block by Brock.
You got to know that that's what Brock does. He's smiling on the way back. You're just floating right into his hands. He wants you to challenge him, and more times than not, he's going to come out on top.
Inside and stolen by Grantham. It was tipped away. Mitchell will shoot 2. Chance to trim the margin down to 4 as Brock pick up the personal foul. That's his 3rd. 23-year-old veteran of the Army, making his mark felt in the Horizon League this year. Mitchell 79% at the stripe.
You know, Roy, if Clemson ends up losing this game, there's about a 5-6 minute span where Blossom game was not getting a steady diet of touches that I think they're going to look back at this game and just think to themselves why, because it's not like Oakland was stopping him. You have Dorsey Walker on him, a guy that's smaller, and really you just got to keep going to him until they stop him.
71-67. Winner of this one gets the winner of Alabama-Richmond. Those two teams licking their chops with a chance perhaps to host in the second round if this winner is Oakland tonight.
Comes in that 2-possession area that has been a problem for them this year down the stretch. I know Oakland looking to try to milk some time, which I don't know if I agree with, because they're a team that you kind of have to let them just stay aggressive.
Blossom game with a kickball.
And they get a new 20 with the, they should with the experimental NIT rules.
Shot clock will reset to 15. It was under 10. Let's see how Neely will play it. And Walker passed up an open look for 3. Time winding down. Dorsey Walker's got to hurry. Blocked by DeVoe. And a shot clock violation. Clemson with life. Just over 40 seconds remaining.
And that's kind of like in football when you start playing prevent. Oakland is a team really that has to go full tilt. They're not a team that can really milk time right here. They looked offensively like they didn't know what to do on that possession. They need to really continue to play aggressive this last 41 seconds.
You want to see a 3 here, or do you still have enough time to attack the rim and see what happens?
No, you attack the rim on a pick and roll, get a quick shot, really get the best shot available. You're not in the must-have 3 range.
Blossom game, step back iron. Tap to Reed. Marquise Reed. In and out, and Jate tips it in. They're going to say interference.
And that was a good call. Ball was still in the cylinder.
Shot clock is off, 26 seconds remaining, and Clemson will call a timeout.
You see that play. Reed got a good look. Ball on the rim. Easy call for the officials to make, but now you're in that situation where Clemson is going to have to foul. Try to get that steal first. You don't get it, then go for the foul.
Think about this game. Clemson established its largest lead at 20 points. With 17:36 remaining in this half. Jate clearly bothered the basketball on the rim. Since that 20-point margin was built, it has been all Oakland. They've led by as many as 8, and currently the 4-point advantage.
Roy, what happens sometimes is when you get that early lead, a game gets comfortable and players relax a little bit and they feel like the game's over. You stop executing offensively and defensively. And as I said in the beginning of this game, you don't want a team like Oakland to get confident because they are fearless. They can score in multiple ways, and you've seen this down the stretch.
Remember, too, any foul results in 2 free throws under the NIT experimental rules and a timeout call on the attempted inbounds pass. Well, a reminder, the first 4 of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship continues tomorrow over on True TV beginning at 6:30 Eastern. For more information on tournament game times and listings, make sure you visit ncaa.com. Well, this one's had all the drama and feel of a tournament. NIT's not the NCAA, but it's been a lot of fun tonight, my friend.
Well, yeah, and when you're a casual fan and you see an ACC team like Clemson playing Oakland, you're thinking, who? But this is a team that won their conference, and a very good Horizon League conference with a team like Valparaiso that has an NBA player, Alec Peters, on their team. And so, very good team, and to get your team to recognize the quality of your opponent. But more importantly, it's a mid-major team coming into your house that really wants to beat you.
And you know what a win like this would mean for Greg Campy, especially going into next season.
Absolutely.
Virtually everybody back, plus Kendrick Nunn, transfer from Illinois. Shot clock is off. Dribbled up by Walker, and he's got 2 free throws coming up.
And that was a good defensive possession. Only 3 seconds went off the clock. You didn't get the steal, but you got a foul, and now you just got to hope that they miss.
Walker 4 of 6 at the line tonight, 84% this season. And we wondered which team would kind of battle and find a way to bounce back. After losing in their conference tournament, Clemson trailed Duke by just a point with under 3 minutes to go up in Brooklyn. Obviously lost. Oakland upset by the number 9 seed Youngstown State. Got off to a slow start, but boy, have they bounced back in an enormous way.
They really have, and it's really surprising with the loss of their all-conference player, Jalen Hayes. And to be that resilient and come back, something that got to credit Oakland.
6-point game.
Now you're in a situation where you need to get some threes.
Avery Holmes, air ball, rebound Dorsey Walker, and Oakland can feel it.
Huge win here, it looks like, for Oakland.
I think you're as stunned as I am after this second half started.
If the first half hadn't played out the way it had, with Clemson getting that huge 20-point lead, I mean, you don't lose a 20-point lead on a mid-major at home, and you're an ACC team. That just doesn't happen. This late in the season, maybe early in the season that might happen, but this late, doesn't happen.
One more free throw coming up for Dorsey Walker. Greg Campy in his 33rd season, the 3rd longest tenured coach in D1 basketball today, imploring his team.
And this is a season-defining win here at the end of the, I mean, on the road, horrible loss, lost your guy. And that's what makes it more amazing to me is the fact that they did this without Jalen Hayes.
Air ball by Reed after the miss by DeVoe. Tap to Blossom game, and what will be his final game in a Clemson uniform.
He just didn't want to let the ball go. I think he sensed it.
And that'll do it. Oakland on the road in the heart of ACC country steals a win in Clemson.
Amazing and great coaching job by Coach Campy. Kept his team engaged until the second half, until that top defensive team in the country really showed its face and did a great job of really dictating the pace, the tempo, and putting their imprint on this game with a huge win for the Horizon League champion on the road in ACC country.
Walker with 23, Dorsey Walker with 21. Greg Campy will see his team survive to the second round of the NIT, awaiting the winner of Bama and Richmond, in a game that is already underway over on ESPN. Our final score, 74-69 Oakland. It's 25th win of the season. And the Golden Grizzlies on the road get the job done. The comeback is complete. We send you now back to the studio in Charlotte with Brendan and Dino. Guys?